We're back again.
I'm Tony.
And I'm Art.
And we're from
GardenMastersWithAZ.com.
And we're going to talk about the pavers now that we're going to be installing around our hot tub so we can get rid of the mud and so we can have some bar stools around the bar.
Now keep in mind, whenever you plan a project, you have to plan. Think it all the way through
before buying products and installing things.
Don't think that this is a weekend project, that we're just going to come out and dig and lay brick, because it's a lot more involved. You got to think about everything.
It's involved here because we live on a hill.
So when you purchase a property, you got to think, you're thinking long term. You're thinking about what you want to do and everything. And if you're a do-it-yourselfer like us, you have to plan your projects and do them over time. Everything's not going to happen right away unless you hire a contractor.
Good point.
I want to say on that note real quick that it's better to do projects over an extended time, because as you use your space, you'll find more of a need and what is your desires, and you can move on from there. So here we are in the area that we're going to put our pavers in.
Let's talk about the hillside. You can see the hill right there. Very obvious, the way the steps go into the hill.
So look at the way the hill comes down. Look over here in the future. We are going to have a fire pit.
Well, we have a fire pit, semi-fire pit.
It's a mess.
I know.
We look like a bunch of hillbillies. It's all going to be refined over time. So anyways, back to this area. When we moved in, we also had a problem that it's not a problem, but this was the only flat piece of property we had.
And you can say it's flat, but it's really deceiving because just like we showed you, it is a slight grade.
But at least it's flat enough to play some yard games in.
Yes, and it's even flatter now because
we have been, as we dig stuff out, we've been adding the fill to create more of a flat area across here. There is a wall down there, there's a wall over there. We kept in mind that we don't want to have a lot of soil up on the roots of the trees because they need air, to grow and so forth. But we do have this flatter area over here, and this is the entertaining area.
All right, so let's talk about the pavers now, shall we? So when you're talking about installing a paver area, where is it going to be located and what's the shape of it? So for us, we have this deck here and we want a paver area for people to be able to step up on it without stepping in the yard and mud first. In fact, we'll probably have this rubber mat down here on the paver for people to wipe their shoes. So we're probably going to start the paver pathway here at this stair, and we're going to bring it out like this. I'm not sure about how wide yet, and then we're going to bring it out a little wider as it comes down by the bar to have enough room for bar stools, and then we're going to bring it in over here. Now the problem with this is a slight grade down, and we're going to put bar stools here, but we don't want the stools to be tipping over. They need to be on a flat surface. So we need to determine the height of the final paver pathway in relation to the bar height. So when we put stools on this, it's going to be the proper height. And more than likely what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to fill in down here to make it level with up there. Now when we do that, we're going to need something to hold the soil back, so that's more than likely going to be landscape ties. But then you get into the problem of, oh, people are sitting here in the bar stools having their margarita. Maybe they want to go into the hot tub with their margaritas. Who knows? But anyway, they're going to step off, and this is going to be elevated now, and it will be very easy for people to either trip off or fall off, not seeing it because they're faced in that direction.
If they're drinking margaritas, they're probably gonna fall. One margarita, two margarita floor.
Margarita floor. That's the same.
But you know, I just want to add, even if you're drinking some lemonade or iced tea, you're just gonna be in the thought of, oh, it's so nice out here. You're still gonna trip.
Relaxing, yes. So anyway, we want to avoid that. So what we're going to have to do is, once this is all in place here, we're going to need to raise the dirt up, raise the lawn up to meet the top of it so that it's a hill down and it isn't a step down. And that's the way we're going to solve that problem. So as you can see, there's a lot involved in putting in this paver area for bar stools. The next thing we need to consider is, which type of pavers are we going to use? Now we have different choices of pavers that we can use. This is your classic brick paver. It can be used on walls too. And we might use this type of paver because we did a client's pathway using these pavers and we really liked how it looked. Now, when you use this type of paver, you can use different patterns. There is the herringbone pattern, which is kind of like these bricks on an angle. There is the basket weave pattern, which they're kind of laid out in squares. And then there are other patterns too that we'll have to decide. In addition, we want an edging brick that's going to be totally different, that's going to be very, very decorative. So when we're thinking about which bricks we're going to use, we want to think of the grand plan in that we have the other pavers that we showed you over by the entrance to the house. And then we have the other pavers that are underneath the stairs that we showed you as well. And now we're going to have these pavers, plus the pavers of that little walkway that goes along the yard. So now we're going to have these pavers, and we want them all to kind of go together. So there's a good chance whatever we use here, if it's the bricks, we're going to switch those other ones over to these bricks as well. But anyway, a lot of this is still in flux a little. So that's what we have to figure out. And that is part of the grand plan.